Yay Networks.
Parenting is such a breeze, oh, but it would bring you to your knees if it weren't for Chatty Daddy. Oh, yeah, the Chatty Daddy.
Welcome to the Chatty Daddies. I'm Trey Peart.
I'm Nick Adams.
I'm JC Chavez.
I'm just going to hang out and talk about parenting stuff. You guys were all parents this week? Or?
Yeah.
I was a parent this week.
Oh,
yeah.
cool. Good. So I have two little boys now, right? And I have started doing something really, really cool with my 3-year-old Quaid. Mm-hmm. He's almost 4.
Oh, yeah?
3.5, whatever. And so we like to go on a family walk and walk around the neighborhood, and he has a balance bike. It's basically just a regular bike without pedals. So you just, instead of using a scooter with your foot, you're sitting on a bike thing, and you can ride down ramps and all that
Getting them
stuff.
used to the bike, and then eventually you get them one with pedals, and they know what they're doing.
And so he likes to go up to the top of each garage we go by and ride down the big ramp. We live about 1.5 miles from a skate park, and I go, hey, why don't we go over to the skate park and let you go down some of those ramps? And surprisingly enough, my wife didn't say no. I assumed that I was going to be having to sneak him out of the house or something. And she was just like, all right, but wear a helmet. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, all right, cool. I got the green light. And we go over to the skate park. He absolutely loved it.
Oh, good.
It was awesome. That was Friday. I came up with that plan. And then on Saturday morning, he wanted to go back. And I want to play. I want to go too. The problem is my bike has a flat tire. And so I was like,
You got to take it to the bike shop?
Well, I can change an inner tube myself, and I have some coming from Amazon just because Quaid's been riding his bike a lot. I was like, okay. What if I could go get rollerblades for myself?
Oh, yeah.
And then I can ride around on my rollerblades. We'll ride up to the park together. Then I go, wait a second. I'm not certain I'm good at rollerblading. That's dumb. And so if Quaid falls over, I don't want to be in these shoes
wheels
that I can't get off and I'm trying to run over or whatever. He's hurt, broken arm. So I was like, I'm going to get a skateboard. I'm going to go get a $20 skateboard from Target, and I'm gonna go down all these little ramps with my son. And we had an absolute blast. I only fell once.
Oh.
And then I realized that I need to reel this back in.
Were you a skater back in the day? Were you ever
I
into
owned
it?
a skateboard back when I was 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there.
Could you ollie?
No.
Oh, so you weren't doing anything?
Anything. Terrible.
I watched the video, Trey. You did really well.
I'm better today than I was back then, because I remember I would wear skate shoes because that was what was in style, and people would call me a poser. Oh, it would hurt me so bad, but I had to wear the shoes because my mom bought them, you know, and she didn't want to. Anyway, but so I went and I did decent. I didn't. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just letting gravity pull me, but I don't fall, so that's pretty cool.
I think you need to carve out 30 minutes every few days, go up there and practice on your own.
Totally.
So that next time you go up there, you're like Tony Hawk and you impress your wife.
Yeah.
She'll be like, how did you learn to do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just figuring it out, babe.
The people up there that are actually doing it are
Hoodlums.
probably-
Are they hoodlums?
No, they're awesome.
Okay.
They're fantastic people. Everybody I've talked to has been the nicest, kindest, most inviting. Hey, come on in. Doesn't matter your skill level kind of thing.
The skate community tends to be pretty cool.
And hopefully they're serious, because it's they're dudes that are probably 25 to 30, somewhere in there. And they I don't know if they were former professionals or what, but they're doing some crazy stuff up there. I'm like, that's impossible for
Are
a
they
human
wearing
to do this in
helmets?
person. They're not.
Ooh,
That's how you can tell they're
scary.
good.
Yeah.
No helmets. And they're 20 feet in the air, flipping the board on their feet. I need to ask them if they've been on some sort of pro circuit or something.
There is no way I could do any of that. I think the most I ever did on a skateboard was an ollie. I always wanted to learn how to do a kickflip.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't. I couldn't flick couldn't flick my ankle well enough, I guess, to get it to turn and actually land on it. Never landed a kickflip. I could do an ollie, and that's it. That's all I could do.
But I don't know if I'm having a midlife crisis or not through this. It clearly is not a 35-year-old sport.
No, it's not.
It's for younger people. But I'm going to get out there. I'm not going to ever do any real jumps or go off a real ramp. But I'll get out there until he starts doing some real stuff and he has his friends go out there with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I have a second thing.
Yeah.
If that's okay with y'all.
Go ahead.
Hey, y'all have 2 kids, right? Mm-hmm. Both of y'all?
You have
I can't
2.
So do you.
remember. Me? Yeah. Okay, no, but really, I am very concerned. I've never looked up anything psychologically, or if this is even the term, but about second child syndrome. Mm-hmm. I don't think that Hudson gets as much love as Quaid. This is probably a common problem, right?
you're still focusing more on Quaid than Hudson.
So I'm holding Hudson, and I hold Hudson. I give him his bottle, like, can do it. But like, generally, it's Quaid says something, and I'm like, oh yeah, Quaid's articulating something to me. I need him. I throw Hudson on the ground and go do what Quaid needs. Very rarely am I going back the other direction of like, not leave me alone, but hey, hang on 1 second, I got to do stuff for Hudson. Unless it's like a nap or a diaper.
I think it tends to be the other way, if I may disagree with you.
The older one then gets jealous.
Yeah, the older one is the one that gets ignored because the new baby is here and we need to give it all the attention.
Right.
And so the older one is the one that tends to regress a little bit with behavior, and they tend to go back into acting like a baby.
Yeah,
because
baby talk.
Yeah, they notice, okay, my little brother or sister is talking like a baby and crying all the time, and they get the attention, so they tend to revert. So I think what you're doing is the correct thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, it's also a balance. What does Kara do? Is Kara more attentive to Hudson?
Oh, I'm gonna say she has a good balance.
Right.
I feel like she is able to, like, I don't know, she's able to talk to both of them at once. Like I'm only able to focus on one kid at a time, whereas
But I mean, Hudson doesn't have a ton of needs like Quaid does.
Right.
So yeah, like you said, as long as Hudson is comfortable and has a clean diaper and
no choking hazards around,
we're good.
Yeah.
Once he starts moving around and being more active,
I mean, he's
going to balance that out.
a fast little crawler.
Really?
Like I gotta put the baby gate up for the stairs and all that now. I gotta make sure that I have all the little socket protectors on and all that. But so you guys don't think I'm ruining Hudson? He's not gonna feel unloved?
I think you're actually doing it right because Quaid is not going to regress, and Hudson is so little that he doesn't know that, okay, my dad's not paying attention to me as much as he is to my older brother. He will later.
Right.
But right now, he's in the early stages. All he wants is probably his snacks, and he wants a little of a crawling time, and he wants to giggle with you, and he's just having a kid time.
Noise and lights on the toys.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, once they get to the point where they can play, then I'm in the clear, right? Like they're like I can once I get them to be able to do the same activity,
They'll be all good.
Does anyone else feel like summer is really expensive?
Yeah, you know what is expensive? Everything is expensive.
I feel like just anything we're doing is expensive. And from time to time, you got to sit down, you got to be an adult, and you got to say, what am I spending? How much? What is it for? What am I getting out of the service?
right.
Yeah.
And every now and then you think, I think that cell phone plan is way too expensive.
When I remember a few years ago when I would look at my plan and my wife's plan combined, and I'm like, what?
How?
How
Why?
is it for that? How's that happening? But then Mint Mobile came in for the rescue.
Mint Mobile does have phone plans for $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. And I mean, I don't know how people are affording the sky high prices. And that's why Mint Mobile has stepped in. And you could say bye-bye to the overpriced wireless plan, the jaw-dropping monthly bills, and those unexpected overages.
All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text and delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And you can use the phone you currently have right now. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your own phone number with all of your existing contacts to make switching over to Mint way easier.
Yeah, to get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for, again, just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/daddies. That's mintmobile.com/daddies. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/daddies.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers for first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabyte on unlimited plans. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
And I know we are responsible adults when it comes to having phones, but I want to talk about something.
Uh-oh.
I have my official big-time regret as a parent.
Okay.
It's a little bit serious. Now, my son, and I got to be careful with how I word all this because there's still things going on with this, but if you're a parent and your kid doesn't have a phone yet, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. I wish I could go back to my son's 12th birthday and take that damn phone away. It is the devil.
Yeah?
I regret it. I wish I would have never given into it. I gave into it because he was in he got into middle school, and every kid has one. And the reason I got it for him is the reason I shouldn't have gotten it for him. And that is because they all got one.
The reason you got it for him is the reason you shouldn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
All his friends had it.
So he got one
gets it.
too. Sure.
But that's the
also
reason.
the reason to not get it.
Okay. So
I don't know how, and I know we got a lot of parents that have different levels of how involved you get with your kids' privacy and everything like that. Here's how mine works with my son. I bought the phone. He lives under my roof. I am going to have full access to that phone. And I told him this until you are 16, driving on your own, and I'll start easing off. Until then, I can look at your texts, your chats, anything at all times. And I've been very open with Kaysen about that. And he knows. And it's very evident because I don't check it every day.
is he okay?
No.
Oh.
I don't check it every day. But I will check it if I notice a change in my son's behavior. And this happened a little while back, a few months back. I noticed a change in my son's behavior. I went and I noticed there was one particular kid that was not being the kindest to him, saying rude things about him. I would then look at that kid and see, okay, how does he talk to the other kids in this chat? The group chats are awful. And I realized this kid doesn't talk to those kids that way. It's just my son. I reached out to that kid's parent. We had a really constructive conversation. Nobody was angry at each other. It was two grown-ups having a conversation. We disagreed on how our boys interacted with each other in a way, and that's okay. That happens. We came to the conclusion that we should maybe keep our boys a little bit apart because it's not a very fruitful relationship.
Yeah.
The kid's parent did let me know that her son doesn't like Kaysen. Mm-hmm. She told me that. And I
could
said,
tell in the text.
yeah, and I was like, frankly, I know, because I could tell in the text he doesn't like. And then I said, well, may I ask why? And she said, I don't know why. I just know that he thinks Kaysen is annoying. Mm-hmm. As a parent, that hurt me a little bit. But again, we're not going to be liked by everyone. This is a lesson my son needs to learn. But for some reason, he's kind of like me. I used to gravitate towards the people that didn't like me for some reason, and I wanted them to like me.
Try and win them over.
Try to win them over, and I fought with this internally, and I decided I'm going to be honest with him. And I told him, I said, listen, this kid doesn't like you. I was told, and he thinks you're annoying, and that's okay, dude. Don't feel bad. You have friends that like you for who you are and how you act, and everything's fine. He took it pretty well.
Good.
And he said, okay, I'll try my best. And he goes, I just don't know why he doesn't like me. And I said, sometimes there's not a reason. Sometimes people just don't like us, and that's just the way it is. And he said, okay. And they kind of stayed away from each other until toward the end of the last year of the year. They're in the same group of friends, so they're hanging out around each other. And every time he was there, I asked him, how was this kid? Oh, he was fine. He still doesn't really like me, but it is what it is. And the kid even showed up at my house the other day and came inside with another kid because they were dropping Kaysen off, and they seemed fine. As soon as this kid left, he goes, I just don't understand why he doesn't like me. We're in the same group. He goes, I promise I've been trying to be not annoying. I've been just chill, and he still talks to me like I'm a nuisance, like I bother him. And I said, it is what it is, buddy. A couple days ago, I noticed a change in my son's behavior again. He was quiet. And if you know my son, you guys both know Kaysen. My son is loud. He's boisterous.
He likes to have a conversation with people.
He's really good with talking with adults. He's conversational. He's a light, right? Mm-hmm. Some of us are more introverted. He's extroverted. Mm-hmm. He likes to talk, and he wasn't doing that. And I just went upstairs, and as I was walking up the stairs, normally when he's mad, he slams the door. He shut the door, and he locked it. And I said, okay, surely. I saw him on the phone a lot that morning, and I went, and I started looking at my iPad where I look at his text, and I went into a group chat. And this is what I think some of us parents need to do. Not so much question our kids, but maybe kind of get in there and see what could be happening. And I found something I didn't particularly like. There was a group chat, and I started seeing that this kid that we had the problem with earlier in the year was texting a lot, and it was Image. So I clicked on that group chat, and I saw a picture of my son dressed as a girl in my house, spammed on that group chat. It's not a group chat with just their friends. It's a group chat with their whole grade. boys, girls, tons of numbers that are not even on my son's phone. And I automatically realized this isn't good. So I went upstairs, knocked on Kayson's door. He answered it, went back, laid down on his bed. I said, where did this kid get this picture? And he looked at me and he said, I don't know, Dad. It was embarrassing.
So this is a picture that Kaysen took.
This is
a picture
so the
that-
origin of this comes from my son and daughter like to do skits.
Sure.
And my son is he's such a good big brother. When my daughter wants to do something, he says, let's do it. It's just for laughs. It's just for our family. So he wanted him to dress up like a girl, and he was going to pretend to be one of her friends or something. I don't exactly know what skit they were doing, but they film it. It goes into like her little, YouTube reels. The rule with my daughter is she is never to post any of those, and they stay in that folder, never to be posted. I said, where did this kid get that? And he said, Papa, I've never given him that picture. And I said, well, he got it from somewhere. And I said, who did you give that to? And he said, the only person I gave that to was, and it's his best friend, or so we thought.
Right.
Yeah. He said he was having a bad day or he wasn't feeling right. And I thought, just to make him laugh, I would send him this video that Chloe and I did. And I said, you sent it to that kid who has hurt you in the past.
Oh, no.
And he said, yeah. And I said, well, I think we know where he got that picture from. I said, okay, I'm going to take care of this. Give me your phone. Took the phone from my son because I didn't want him to see what the kids were writing about him. I went downstairs, and I'm in my office, and the kid kept posting the pictures of Kaysen. Wouldn't stop. Kids at this point started saying, dude, stop. It's too much. Kaysen had already asked him to stop. And now I start looking at the chats between Kaysen and this kid, and right before he dropped the picture, or after he posted it the first time, Kaysen went on just a one-on-one chat and said, dude, please delete that. And he goes, what? He said, the picture, can you please delete it? He goes, nah. He goes, please, I was just trying to be a good big brother to my sister. I don't know where you got the picture. Please delete it. He said, I don't know how. My son then went to YouTube, found a link to show him how to delete this and put it on there. And he goes, nah, I don't feel like doing it. And that's when he started spamming it. As I'm looking at this chat and watching my son beg this kid not to ruin his middle school career, because we're all boys.
Sure.
If we would have been posted as a girl in middle school to us, that would be detrimental
pretty rough.
to our
I mean,
social life, mental health.
You could be as progressive as possible
Sure.
at 35.
Sure.
But
there's-
the 13, 14-year-old boy
I don't know
is
who
not
those
a
kids
progressive
are.
creature.
And as I'm reading this chat, a phone call comes in on my son's phone from a blocked number. I pick it up. It's a voice that's clearly trying to sound deeper. And they say the F word that is directed towards gay people and hang up. I was fuming.
Of course.
I can't find out who called. It rings again. I pick it up. Another word, the H one this time, hang up. Now calls are coming in. The only thing I'm thinking is I'm so freaking glad my son does not have this phone.
Right.
Because this could have been worse for him to hear these things. So it's just me and my wife hearing it. It's okay. Came in again. Another one. By like the fifth or sixth one,
Do they all sound like the same person trying to do
it's just,
Okay. So it's probably just one person messing with
yeah,
everything?
I don't know if it's one person.
Could be sitting with his friends,
I
yeah.
could hear a little laughter in the back. I get it. These kids might be thinking it's a funny prank call, but these things actually can lead to worse things. We've seen the news stories about these. Finally, after they called, the last one was, they called them a trans person. And I finally said, this is Kaysen's dad, right? And I just heard hang up, and the call stopped. Then I went and looked at the conversation between my son and his best friend, and I saw this kid threatening my son with releasing this picture because they had been having a friend argument. And he said, apologize. And my son said, for what? He said, apologize or I'll release it. And my son goes, please, again, begging. It's hard to see your son almost groveling for somebody not to ruin their middle school career or their day or their month. And yes, in 10 years, it's not going to be as big. But to him today, this is an atom bomb. And the kid said, I'm going to do it if you don't apologize on the group chat. And he said, for what? And he said, I'm about to do it. And just posted a picture that he was going to drop. And it was that picture. I knew this kid. So I called him on Kaysen's phone. And I said, dude, where did you get this picture? And he lied to me. He said, I've never seen that picture. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I said, you've never seen that picture? No, sir. So I hit up his mom. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. I want to let his mom know that this is happening. The mom then says, he says he doesn't know what you're talking about. So I sent her the screenshot of him threatening my son with the picture. She didn't really apologize. She just said, he wasn't trying to be rude or anything. And I said, I know, but it turned into something. And it hurt that his mom basically didn't see anything wrong with it. Same with the other kid's mom. She basically told me, Kaysen dropped a picture. After like 10 of those spams, Kaysen dropped a picture of the boy with like that he didn't like a buzz cut or something. And that was it. And she said, well, he didn't like that. Kaysen dropped a picture of that boy on the group chat. And I said, yeah, but your son started putting you do not see something wrong with that picture that he dropped of my son. And she said, no. And that's where the communication stopped. My son has been since different. Mm-hmm. That first night, I was, maybe it's over the top, maybe it's triggering for me, and that's why I looked at it. But I went up and checked on my son every hour that night because he told me how down he was.
Yeah.
He told me how upset he was. He didn't want to go to his camp the next day because he didn't want kids to make fun of him. He says that picture is now all of those kids, I don't know who they are, have it.
Right. And so did he go to camp the next day?
I made him go to camp the next day.
Okay.
Thinking that it would be okay. And I don't think anybody really, I think the fact that I went on the group chat and I said, hey guys, this is Kaysen's dad. I took his phone away. I saw what happened on my iPad. It is not cool what is going on here. I get you guys want to have fun and jab at each other, but there's jabbing and then there's this. I would like to know who distributed this picture to this kid. And a lot of kids just basically said, no, I'm sorry, sir. You're right, sir. There's a lot of unsent messages from the kids that wrote some stuff. They probably felt bad. I reminded those kids, whatever you do and say on group chats, parents can see. And we will eventually see if it gets bad, which was a message I wanted to send. But it just, the damage is done. And all I can think about as a dad now is how much I regret introducing that piece that damaged my son, because I'm the one that gave him the phone and gave him the access to it.
You can't live life like that, though. You can't.
I can't, but I think there's also, I think we're giving kids phones too young.
Yeah.
I think they're not mature enough to understand what friendship is. They're not, when you trust somebody and you give something to someone and to make them feel better, and they in turn turn that into ammunition to hurt you. These are things that they don't know how to deal with yet. Are those two kids that we're dealing with right now going to be awful humans when they get older? No, I don't think so. I think they're going to turn out to be okay humans. I think they have good in them. I think just right now, I don't know there might be something going on in their personal life or something happened to them where they feel like, let me send this hurt to this other kid. The other guy clearly doesn't like my son and saw an opportunity where he could just destroy him, and he did. He destroyed him. He won. And I'm just stuck as a parent. I feel, and I know we're a happy podcast and everything, but this is parenting, and I never.
And you're not an authority in the other kid's life. Like, you're a football coach, but you're not their football coach. I mean, I guess you're not a football coach anymore.
I was one of them, one of the two. I was, which made it even more painful.
Yeah.
It made it sting a little bit more because I thought there was more respect in that realm. I think. If it would have been just between their group of friends that play football, I could see that, okay, it's an inside joke. Kaysen's going to take it. They're all funny, laughing, blah, 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 but we're boys in the end. The fact that it was released to the school, to the majority of the kids that have phones, and now they all possess this image, and they could do whatever they want with it, is what hurts. Is it a nude picture? No, it's not. It could have been worse? Yes.
Sure.
Anything could be worse. But to my son,
Kaysen doesn't even know that it could be worse at this point, though. I imagine he is devastated.
Yeah,
psychologically.
Yeah, he's devastated by the backstab that a kid he trusted. He's devastated that this kid that doesn't like him doubled down and showed how much he dislikes him. And there was, I tried to look at why he put that picture up, and I looked back and there was nothing.
Right.
It was just it's just like the first text of the morning, out of the blue, just boom.
Some people want to watch the world burn. Kind of
I mean, when you're that age and you're a dude, everyone wants to be the person
burn somebody.
to burn someone.
wanna
You
burn
always want to be
somebody.
the top dog. You always want to be the one making fun of someone else.
And he pulled that
just went
trigger.
nuclear on it.
You know, Kaysen's a pretty mature young man, and I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this line of thinking too. But I always, for the last little bit, I've been trying to boil it down to what did I actually do, and was it something I did wrong? So what Kaysen actually did was he was a good big brother. That's where the photo came from. I mean, you could tell him that he was a good big brother, and he was a good friend trying to cheer somebody up.
Trying to make his friend laugh.
That's the two things that Kaysen did, and it's going to suck for a long time in his mind.
Yeah.
It maybe forever.
Here's the
Probably
analogy.
forever.
Here's the analogy I gave Kaysen, okay? And I think this is a really good psychology analogy that we maybe have all seen in the past. I sat him down that night just because I wanted to make sure he was in a good headspace. I didn't want to leave him alone. Maybe it's overdramatic.
No,
Judge
it's
me
not.
for it. I don't
Not
know. Based on the stories
this
we
world,
see
no.
in this world, I didn't think it was overdramatic. But I told him, listen, and I grabbed the biggest stuffed animal he has in his room. It's this big baby Yoda. It's like the size of a freaking 5-year-old. And I said, this is your problem right now. What do you notice about it? He goes, it's really big. I said, yeah, it's huge. It's not just big, it's huge. And I said, in 1 month, and I grabbed another stuffed animal that was half the size of the Yoda. And I said, in 1 month, 2-3 months, this is your problem. What do you notice about it? Still pretty big, right? But it got smaller. And I said, then I grabbed a little ball, like a squish ball that he had. I said, in 1 year, and this is worst case scenario, 1 year, this is your problem. What do you notice? He goes, it's way smaller now. I said, yeah. And then I grabbed a marble, and I said, in 10 years, this is your problem. So this huge thing that's going on in your life right now is absolutely devastating. It is a big problem. Take it as it is. Take the time you need to be angry and whatever emotions you're going through, but just understand that in 10 years, this is not going to be, it's not going to matter anymore.
One caveat to that, like, it can stick with you and ruin your self-confidence. It can ruin your ability
100%.
to get up and go and talk in front of people.
If not handled properly.
Right,
yes.
right. So there are some real, like, lifelong impacts, because this is a big deal that, like, not...
I've talked to you guys. The reason it triggered me so much is because I had the same thing happen to me when I was a sophomore in high school. And I've talked about this on our radio show. And I'm only talking about this on our parenting podcast because, I know that we probably get more listeners on the radio show, and I'm pretty sure I didn't want it to be that big of a thing,
Sure.
and people think I'm blaming kids. I just wanted to talk about this to parents so that we're aware. I had a similar thing happen to me. I've talked about this in the past. In high school, I got my sophomore year, I started getting called Bridget.
Oh, yeah.
I've talked about this, and it did have long-lasting effects on me.
Yeah.
And it was devastating for me to the point where I had ideas back then that I'm glad I didn't fulfill.
Listen, you can say suicidal thoughts, man. It's
Yeah.
okay. And I'm sorry that happened.
And
to
attempts.
You can say it. Other people
It
have.
got me that bad. And again, there was other things behind that, but that was the thing that pushed me over the edge. And it just had to do with me dressing up like a girl and dancing to a Spice Girls song.
Being fun. Being
Being
funny.
fun. And two older boys decided we're going to freaking ruin this guy. And that's where it started. That was the origin. And now I've gone back and asked one of those guys, why did you guys call me Bridget? Why did you guys start that? Why did you guys ruin my sophomore year of high school? And he said, I don't even remember doing it. So that problem, again, marble, but for me was still a little bit larger than a marble. So you're right. It does stick with you. And I don't want that to happen with Kaysen. And that is why it triggered me. And that is why I responded the way I did.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons why we as parents respond to things for our kids the way we do. And it's because it maybe has to do with trauma we suffered as kids, or maybe something that happened to somebody we saw. I don't want it to be that, Trey. I don't want it to be where he's afraid to do skits with his sister. I don't want him to be afraid to be silly. I don't want him to lose that life that he has, because I see it gone right now.
You know, I'm sitting here trying to think, okay, how would I handle this? And like you said earlier, Trey, it's easy for me to think a guy in my 30s how I would handle this. But it's just one of those things, kind of like what you're saying. You go hang out with your boys, it's going to be really awkward for a second.
Yeah.
The second time, less awkward.
But like I would put on a
take
dress
time.
today and not
Totally.
think twice about it. Make fun of me.
I know,
Haha. Like I
exactly.
live a great life.
We're
like,
adults.
Yeah.
Right.
Yesterday was hat day at my daughter's school. And when I went to pick her up, I put on a wig and a tiara in front of the class
Yeah.
because the
Hilarious.
teacher had it. It's funny. Again, me in my mid 30s, it's okay.
But would we do this as a middle school boy?
maybe not.
Probably not.
But it would be nice if somebody that was a grown up that they looked up to went out there and did it.
It's like Billy Madison when he the kids.
Yeah.
On the what happened? I peed my pants, and
Right.
he went and put.
Yeah.
It's cool to pee your pants.
Yeah.
It's that. Yes,
Right.
absolutely. There's also the context that was missing from that photo because these kids that get the photo, they don't know that Kaysen was doing it for his sister to be funny on a skit. To them, they're going like, "Oh crap, is this kid doing this on the side, and that's what's going on, and they caught him, or what?" Context was missing.
Were
for this.
girls on this group chat that
Oh,
sent the
yeah.
pictures? See, if he lets the girls know that he was playing with his younger sister, that might win.
He did respond that,
And
and
might win them over.
And props to all the girls on that chat. Not one of them made fun.
Good.
In fact, if anything, I saw what the girls were saying were telling them to stop. And there was a few boys that did as well.
Good. That's good that other guys.
That made
stepped
me
in.
feel a little bit better. You know, that they were like, the girls were, I think they saw that, and girls are always more mature than the boys, and that's really cool. But that made me feel a little bit better. I think me expressing, guys, you guys got to be careful with what you do. I didn't go off on these kids, although, man,
Of course.
I
Oh,
pictured
yeah.
myself doing things that, you cannot imagine what I pictured in my head, but I didn't. I just kept it adult. I told them what could happen. I even told this kid after we finished having the conversation because they wouldn't really give up on each other. I said, listen, I think you're going to be a great human one day. You have something great inside you. I just don't think what you did was cool, basically was the gist. I as much as I would want to go off on the kids for doing it because they hurt my son, I also got to remember their kids as well.
The goal is to be as harsh as you can to someone else. That's kind of the goal.
Oh,
That's
man.
what he did.
Yeah, he
sucks.
did it, man. If his goal was to ruin my son for I don't know how long this is going to last, he was incredibly successful.
So this guy was like Kaysen's best friend that sent the photo.
Yeah.
Like there's like trust issues involved
Yeah.
coming up. Like,
And I told him, I'm like,
not everybody's a piece of shit.
not everybody.
Tell him not
I told him
everybody's
that.
terrible.
I told him, and again, I don't think he. There's other kids he trusts, and I said they've never embarrassed you. This kid did, okay, or he facilitated this. All right, so let's gravitate towards the ones that haven't done this to you.
Yeah, if you look at the bright side, you know who not to hang out
Yeah.
with.
Middle school and high school is where we learn as humans
Yeah.
who we should gravitate towards, who we should not gravitate towards. Just because you're best friends with somebody does not mean they have to be your best friend for life. Just like you're born into a family, just because you're born into a family does not mean you need to stay in contact with those people for your whole life if they have done you wrong.
If it's toxic, get
If
out
it's
of there.
toxic, you got to find what is not toxic. Just like how we put stuff in our body, friendships, relationships, we put them into our mind. And if we put toxic into our mind, it rots our mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell a kid like, hey, it's not going to be too bad in 2 months. He needs to find a way to make a joke out of it and take
Yeah.
it on the chin for a few times.
That's what I told
and-
him. He was trying to.
Yeah,
guys. He was trying
yeah,
to make a
it's
joke. He
hard.
was trying to make light of it, and it didn't happen. It didn't work out his way.
There's a piece of advice that I've always heard, but I've never really understood it that well until I heard Tom Hanks in an interview say it. And I was like, oh, now I get it. And because they were asking Tom about what's advice you wish you always had growing up. And he said, this too shall pass.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the saddest you ever are, just like what you were saying with the teddy bear analogy. This is going to pass. That's the same with how happy you are right now. This is going to pass.
Of course.
Every emotion is temporary. Whatever you're feeling now, because we remember when we were in high school, things, I don't know if the Bridget thing still cuts as much, but like, it doesn't hurt as bad as it did then.
Right.
Because it's past.
You know when it stopped cutting? When I messaged one of the guys and I said, why'd you do that? And he said, I don't remember doing it. And that's when I realized they didn't have an agenda. They just were being dumb teenagers, and I was the target. And I fought back because I showed I hated it.
Yeah. And I know that we hear this all the time, and it's more evident, I think, as I grow up. Not everyone is always thinking about you.
Yeah.
That kid that's posted that picture, he's thinking about himself right now. He's not thinking about Kaysen. And those people that saw that picture, they're probably not thinking about that picture very much anymore. I mean, they remember it. They'll make fun. They'll have a joke about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be there
at lunch next year or something. But they're not thinking about it every single day like Kaysen will be.
I've heard all of this advice back before when I was 10, 11, 12, being bullied and whatnot, and none of it helped.
Yeah.
Not one bit
Yeah.
of it helped.
No, I mean nothing will.
But
It's just
eventually it
time.
clicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told Kaysen, they have that picture now. It's out there, and they can use it to hurt you if you allow them to. The advice I gave him, I said, look, as long as you stay in your course, you're not going out of your way to be rude to people, which you don't. As long as you just stay being Kaysen and you are nice to everybody, just don't create any enemies. You don't like somebody, don't let them know. Just float and be kind. I always tell him about this friend that I had since elementary school named Tony Nguyen. I know everybody I've known in my life to have had somebody they disliked or were disliked by somebody. Everybody I went to school with, except this kid. And the only thing I noticed about Tony Nguyen was that, 1, always showed up to school with a smile. B, said hi to every freaking body. Everybody. Treated you like you were his best friend. I'm talking about everybody. The kids, the weird kids, the cool kids, everybody got the same treatment from Tony Nguyen. This dude was the most likable person I have never in my life, in elementary school, middle school, high school, college. We went together to all those schools. Not once did I ever hear anybody say anything derogatory or mean or rude about Tony. And I said, live like Tony.
Yeah.
I want to be Tony.
And I mean,
I want to be. I wish I would have been like Tony.
was Tony a guy that was always making fun of other people?
No,
Exactly.
no, he
Because-
was not. Would he joke around and have fun? He was the class clown. He was our class clown. And usually your class clown makes fun of people. This guy didn't make fun of people. This guy just made fun. He just was fun. He didn't have to make fun of somebody to uplift himself to
Right.
clown status or in the nicest
In the
way
good
possible.
way.
He used jokes and he used he would, if anything, he would make fun of himself. He was just good looking, tall dude, had everything he could do to be pompous and be an a-hole, and chose not to use that.
Yeah.
He chose kindness, and it showed, and it shows to this day. He is one of the most successful kids from our class because he is that good.
Do you remember there was a story where the dad went and so there was a kid that was getting bullied at school. So the dad went and took the bully and was like, "Hey man, come with us, come hang out." And he bought him some shoes.
Yeah.
And then they were like best friends.
Yeah.
You want to go and
Buy your way out of the
yeah,
problem.
come get that kid.
I've invited this kid.
Really?
I've been nice to this kid.
Yeah.
Even after he was mean to my son, even after I found out he disliked my son and thought my son was annoying, I still welcomed him into my house.
Yeah.
He was in my house a few days before he did this. I was nice to him. He's not I don't think he plays sports with my son. I don't know if he will, but he's more of a arts guy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yo, let's play a little piano. How's your guitar playing? I was talking to him and I was trying to connect with him.
Right.
And he seemed receptive to it, but
didn't
didn't
Dang.
take.
I think Trey said it earlier that at least the picture wasn't worse.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said it earlier.
That's another thing. Please tell your kids never,
I know.
ever send any of those.
What I'm
pictures.
hearing here is just a great teachable moment that
Yeah.
kids don't want to hear. Hopefully everyone on that group chat saw I don't need to be sending pictures of myself to anybody in
in
different
any form.
states
In any form.
Like
because
almost,
this is what can happen.
it almost needs to be a parental control. Like I don't know if they have that as a thing.
send
but
a
kid doesn't-
picture?
Yeah, you don't get
Yeah.
to send a picture. You can send
It's
words.
A great lesson for Chloe in the future. Look,
Yes.
this is this. It's not some news story that happened 20 years ago. This happened in our household about things that can happen
Yeah.
on your phones.
Yeah. If I'm gonna find the bright in this, it's that.
Yeah.
And I
It's
bet
that it
Casey-
was him trying to be nice with his sister. Yes, he's dressed like a girl. Absolutely, it's embarrassing for a middle school boy. I get it.
And even if you send it to your best friend,
And even if you
and
send it,
really just don't even take the picture.
Don't.
I know it's kind of fun and racy in the moment. There's no reason to even have it
Yeah.
on your phone.
I am proud of this. Which
I
is
mean,
great.
that is a total bummer, and it's definitely a tough hill to climb
Yeah.
and to get over. But
It-
eventually it will.
I
It
wanted
just
this.
sucks being in the moment.
Yeah, and I wanted to use this as a PSA for other parents who are thinking maybe about getting their kids. When do I think it's the right time to get a phone for your kid? I don't know. I honestly don't know. In my case, I wish I would have waited more till high
Driving
school or
Give it to
driving.
when they're driving. I want to have this conversation with my friends now. Can we all agree now? Make a pack. Let's just get them like a smartwatch they can call us or something. Like we don't have to have
Yeah.
a full blown.
I had that,
iPhone.
Nick. I had that. That's what my son and daughter had. It was when it was working fine. I could
Worked
keep
great.
up
You
with
call
them.
like 5 people.
They could-
Great.
and he could text one person at a time. There was no group chat.
Uh-huh.
It was everything was blissful until the group chat thing, the group chat world started.
Bring back home phones. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Or-
Landline.
or flip, or even the I'll take a
phone.
flip.
Give me a flip
Give me a
phone.
flip phone. I'll take that from
Yes.
kids.
We're going Morse code.
Nokia. You can
That-
only have a phone if it has the game Snake on it. That's
Yeah.
the only way you can have this phone.
I feel like I got to go get those New Balance shoes now after that.
Yeah?
Dad talk.
Dad talk, yeah.
I need my New Balance.
That would be a great sponsor for our podcast.
Agreed.
It really would be. Anyways, maybe we'll talk to New Balance and get back with you.
Promo code Chatty.
All right. Well, my name's Nick.
My name's Trey.
My name's JC.
And don't forget,
Stand up straight.
Hey,